since this is live, you have to start. The way the live thing works is you ask me something and then I will tell you something. So everyone, Assalamu alaikum. So please continue.
Okay, Assalamu alaikum, all the audience who are watching us live on my YouTube channel named Maryam Zulfiqar TrainingWali. Myself, Maryam Zulfiqar TrainingWali, working as co-principal at Rehan School Online System. And here we have a very dedicated, very talented, and renowned Mr. Haq with us. So Shahed-ul-Haq with us, and he's actually the interner of my internee and wonderful student Furva. And today he is going to share lots of the pearls of wisdom with us regarding her internship, regarding her overall feedback, and most importantly, he will share the whole experience in these 3 months what Farva shared with him under his guidance and leadership. So, Assalamu alaikum, Shahidul Haq sahab. I request you please introduce yourself first, and then we can proceed towards Farva's all the reflection.
Wa alaikum salam and Assalamu alaikum to everyone. And Mariam, I'm not a Saab. I'm just Shahid. Sir, Shahid is good enough. I'm against the psyche of being a Saab. Okay, that's another subject of another discussion some other day. Coming back on to the experience that I've had, the privilege that I had with working sort of on, but more, yeah, more on than with Furva. It's a combination. In return, any mentor-mentee has a two-way relationship. While I was mentoring Furva, I was learning more from her than she was learning from me. This the way thought process is. My first experience of an intern who is not directly in a school, the conventional school, the person whose school is a laptop and the connectivity with that one, which opens up the world, right? So thanks to Farwa and thanks to Mariam you and Rehan Academy, I was introduced myself, who's been in the industry for 37 plus years. I recently retired from an active, again, job is a strong word. I have been an intern all my life. I look at anything I do is with the mindset of being an intern. And mine was a so-called paid internship. So I was working in the oil and gas industry. I'm a petroleum engineer, bachelor's and master's in petroleum engineering. And I was in the headquarters of one of the service companies called Schlumberger, now SLB. And well, now the name of the company is SLB. That used to be known as Schlumberger. And I retired from there. And then last 5 months, I've been trying to figure out what my needs and wants are. Because Alami has given me the opportunity to have a second innings, sort of. And I'm using the second innings of cricket right now, test cricket in particular. So I relate to that one. Life is a test cricket. So you understand the new ball concept and the pitch concept and the changes in your energy level concept and what you have learned from the first innings comes into the second inning. So I tried to take that one. And now I was given the opportunity to work with someone who is a very different way of understanding the curiosity that I found, and which is what got me excited when I listened to Sir Rehan, had conversation with you, Mariam, and Sir Daulat, and then Parva came in, was the curiosity levels are very different. So that is what made me excited, was to see in Parva's eyes the curiosity, the excitement of learning. And that is what makes Ikra. God has given us this ability to think, and not just from here, but from here, and try to link the two. And that is why this internship experience that I've had was extremely nice for me, very fruitful. Now, just before we went live, I was speaking with Mariam and I was giving her that this was a 3 month project. Today is officially second last day. Tomorrow is our official last day of this internship. But this relationship will go on forever. Hopefully, Parva has learned a lot. I have learned a lot. Our takeaways. And we were talking about a few things that comes in when you go with this mindset of learning. A, if I take the internship project, this was a 3-month internship project, which means at the beginning of the project, we had to define. First was 3 months was not defined, so we had to define. Because without defining 3 months, you are never, you don't appreciate the value of time. Because you think that time is going to be there forever, but in reality, the faster, more hard you try to hold on to time, the faster it disappears. So another quote that I just mentioned to Maryam was, plan as if you will live forever, live as if this is your last moment on earth. So the project was in the same way that we defined 90 days project, and then there were some deliverables that have to come in. How, at what point we will know that we are doing what we are supposed to do, and how in the end Furva will be able to justify to Miss Maryam and to Sir Daulat and everyone else that it was a successful project, a successful internship. Success word is, it's a very relative term. What is success? Ability to meet expectations is called success. And ability to meet expectations, the buzzword is expectations. So if you have not defined the expectations, you will never meet, you will never be successful. So at the onset of the project, you have to define expectations from everyone, whoever is a stakeholder in a project. In this case, Furva, myself, Maryam, Sir Daulat, right? You're aligning everyone that, okay, now aligning. So everyone's expectation, are they doable or not? Let's align it. And then you break it into objectives. What will we do in month number 1, in month number 2, in the final? And then you break the month into 4 times: week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, because they are all enablers. So that is how you start strategizing yourself. And for us, we're learning the traits of the trade, in, as we say, of when you are in an internship, a deliverable internship, because inshallah, soon she will be the mentor and she will have the mentees on her own. And she will realize that you learn more than the mentees as a human, as a student. And student doesn't mean I'm a student of life. I just posted one thing on the LinkedIn where there was a discussion going on some emotions, and I said I use tea as my. I'm a tea lover, so I look at different teas, color of the leaves of tea, and different tea leaves act on emotions in a different way. If you want to calm down, go for chamomile. If I want to go in and I want to raise my energy level, maybe there is a proxy that is caffeine level, then I will go with the black tea. The black tea with cardamom is different than the black tea with something else. Same is the case with the green tea. What are the additives that will come into play? So you start looking at those things and you bring it into anything you are doing, or what are the enablers? Because those enablers are going to help you. Emotion, I'm now we are speaking about nothing but everything, right? And this is the way learning comes in. That there is no Mariam didn't ask me a tangible yes no question. She left the thing open, and this is what you get when a person like me is put in aapki adalat mein, and you say, okay, tell us something. Now you don't know what I'm going to say, because I don't know what I'm going to say. So I'm going to say about a lot of things, because they are all connected one way or the other. Because to me, what am I giving to you that you can take in your own life? And I'm going back to half an hour, 45 minutes ago, when Maryam and I started the conversation. We went into, at the very onset of my internship, there was something called 3-2-1. We picked on that. And then there was 5-4-3-2-1 we talked about. And 3-2-1 mindset is, to me, the enabler for curiosity. Curiosity, it's very easy for someone to tell the other, oh, I'm curious. Okay, what makes you curious? Because you use the lens, and the lens of curiosity is, anytime you are in a moment, and every moment is, today is the first day of the rest of my life. Okay, so you go with that mindset. The whole life in front of us has just started today. Whatever is behind me is there to help me to know what could happen, but it is yet to happen. I can prepare myself, but I have to enjoy today at this moment. every day has 24 hours, 60 minutes in 1 hour, 60 seconds in 1 minute, which means we end up with 86,400 seconds or moments in a day. Every moment allows us to look at the things. And you look with the lens that say, give me three things you like. When you use this lens, you are asking yourself to like. Because if you don't, then you will look for things that somehow we become critique. It's very easy to be critical than to be correct. So look for the like things. Once you like something, you also go with the mindset that there are two takeaways from that moment. I met someone, and what am I taking away? That so I am not just giving, but I am also getting something in my life, and I will use it as I move forward. And one question, yeah, uh, that I will have moving forward. Right. So you go with the 3-2-1 mindset on that note. Okay. So Furva, we have gone. I've probably given you a spiral now, and then you might, and your audience also, since they don't know who Sir Shahed is, what the context is. I'll come back actually. Let me wrap it up on the internship part. That we are about to conclude the internship, and we are looking and reviewing the deliverables that we put in. Some of the deliverables have changed over time, and we agreed on the change. And that is also a strong thing about internship is in the internship, you are exploring. You are both the mentee and the mentor are trying to come up with something which has an added value for both. Because if the internship is only going to go and do things that I have done in my life and there is no added value for me, then I am working in a graveyard. But if I'm not working in a graveyard, I am going outside in the open world where we are going to dig something, we will find something, and it may or may not be what we were expecting. So there has to be an availability of options. So management of change comes in. So halfway through the internship, we decided that we will change some of the deliverables, and that is what we are working on right now. Um, Mariam, I'll let you ask the question because there's a lot for me to tell. I'm excited, as you can see. I enjoy learning. So,
Okay. Could you please explain the whole internship duration and share the reflection of the Furva, how she cope up all the challenges and how she actually meet your certain deadlines on time or facing some challenges? How was her behavior during it?
excellent. Um, Now, my expectation on internship to begin with was part of me when you define something. Uh, what is my worst case scenario? Yeah, if nothing happens, then what? Yeah, what is the minimum deliverable that is acceptable? This is internship. My goal was to learn for myself, and I was learning right from the start. Everything Furva was asking me, and she kept that curiosity. The one strong plus of Furva, and Furva is representing Rehan Academy to me. So through Furva, I was looking at Rehan Academy. And once I think you probably, Mariam, you sent me an invite to a meeting where there were a lot of other students also, students younger than Furva, who were there. So I joined that meeting 10 minutes before uh, our meeting. In that way, I saw so many curious faces over there at 6 p.m. Pakistan time. I'm in Houston and I was looking at 6 p.m. Pakistan time. 6 p.m. Pakistan time is a time when students normally are switching off. They are either done with their homework and they want to go and play. This is the only sweet time for them to play, especially for someone who is a teenager plus minus. 9 years, 10 year, 11 year, 12 year, 13 year. That is the time when you have your energy, when you want to go and play. And here I was looking at Rehan Academy's students. They are all full curiosity in their eyes, smile in their faces, on their faces, asking questions to Miss Maryam or whoever was the instructor over there, and everyone miss this, and that was heaven to me. What else can I ask for? That here is this is what we all, as our legacy, we would like to have. So to me, it was a very pleasant experience to see that curiosity. And then I was told that look, some of these students have even not, they are not even going to any other full-time school. So this is what they are following. So I was curious because I come from a very traditional way of education. I followed a traditional education. My kids have gone to traditional education. I've seen that way. I communicate with the traditional. So this was an open forum to me with the deliverables which were different. So Furva, when she came in my life, all of a sudden introduced me on a representative of this school of thought. So I bounced my ideas and I was trying to see how she copes up with the darts I was throwing at her. And she was trying to collect and then she was trying to gather it and breathe in because she was a little behind on her time schedule on the deliverables expected, not from the internship, from her level one. So that time management was there. So I was pushing her to see how she copes up without breaking her. So my goal was to help her find more space in her own life. Anyone who has done yoga or any exercise, gym, you're told that if you want to go and manage yourself, you have to manage your breathing. Once you manage your breathing, you manage the whole, whatever ritual you want to do. You want to do long-term running, you want to do a very short burst, you want to do any aerobics, acrobatics, breathing is the way. So same is the case with the internship one, that I was trying to see Farwa how she breathes when more and more information is thrown upon her and deliverables are mounting on her and she's choking in a way. But she came up very well. She at the right time she pointed out that look, Sir Shahid, I need to delay this part and I want to bring this one on. Fair enough. Let's the moment you realize that you saying no at the right time is a very strong trait. We do not realize the power of no when used at the right time. Yes has its own power, no has its own power, and maybe has its own power, but they all require you to think before you act. But if you don't think and you say no without realizing, then you are closing yourself. So slowly, Farwa started to realize the power of no, to tell me that, Sir Shahid, no on this one. Fair enough. I want you to own your decision. That is a part of the internship that I enjoy. Now, deliverables coming in, and all of you, you included, you introduced me, directly speaking, to the chat GPT, to the power of AI in general. Uh, with the intention, it is there are various ways in which, and again, this is my my takeaways are from the internship and from learning from the way Furva et al. And et al. Is everyone else, plus, as mathematicians do, and anyone who's writing will say ET and AL and dot, right? So I'm using that jargon, that all of you together, what you gave to me was a um, you have to be so at ease in teaming up with AI. You have to team up with AI. You cannot delegate to AI. You cannot follow AI. You have to team up with AI. Very different workflows and mindset. Some of us today who come from, and I represent that school of thought, who grew up on these notebooks. Everything I have, I will open up and I will have all of these different notepads that I have for different subjects. And you can see all of these things over here. On top of it, I also have my kids gave me iPad. The Baba, use this. I have the laptop over there. I have a one phone over here. I have another phone over there. So you can see a combination of all of those things in which I am trying to scribe what I am learning, putting it together over there. But then through Furva, I started to realize the power of working with AI. So what is the working with AI mindset mean? That you build scenarios. Uh, Whether Furva realized or Maryam, you realized, what I realized was that, as an example, ChatGPT, I'll pick ChatGPT. It can be Copilot, it can be Gemini, it can be Perplexity, it can be whatever. So all of those ones, if you do not realize the power in various ways, they are extremely efficient. That's a no-brainer. You ask a question, and now we have reached a point where you even don't have to ask the question and the answer is there because they start thinking in your way of what it is and give you the next possible three scenarios. But don't be dependent upon AI because then you are only taking the path which the AI is giving to you. So you have to use that and then step back and say, I want to see, explore this, this, and this. And then AI is going to come back and realize how you think. Everyone thinks in a different way if we want to. If not, and if we are all thinking the same way, then AI will give everyone the same kind of an answer. So use the AI and cut and paste is good, but do not take the answer of an AI, that scenario that you give, but you convert it into your own language. What is your takeaway from that? AI is working for you. So do not work for the AI. If you start taking cutting and paste because your objective is you want to show someone that I have done a lot. Come on, we all know how AI gives us the answer. So try to use it in your own way, build a scenario, and share that learning. That is how we all learn. And Furva, in a way, showed me in which it can be done. There's a lot that she realized the power of nothing in this world is for free except mother's love. So when she was using the free softwares, there came a point that every free software was not able to meet our desires because what we were asking for was higher level deliverable. So we then realized that instead of this, we have to have a slightly higher version, fair enough. But that was our own learning together on making a workflow, which is, I think, another thing that Furva can do later on is depending upon what kind of deliverables and the quality of deliverables needed, you can have a decision tree of how far the existing free software can take us. So our expectations are aligned at the beginning that we can do the scouting at the beginning. And then if you want certain kind of deliverables on YouTube or on videos or on book that you want to write or on presentation that you want to make or whatever it is, then here is editor that will come. Editing is the key. That what kind of editing you need, and that editing requires a certain kind of a software because those free softwares are there to get you in. So use those, and then make up your mind and don't just invest your time and money on something that may not be useful to you. So I'm very I found this internship experience for me as a mentor. I learned a lot. Yeah. Did we meet the expectations that we had at the beginning? Absolutely not. But my also expectation was I was not there for a tangible deliverable. I was there for the journey, not for the destination. So I enjoyed the ride. And this is where what I tell everyone that focus on the journey while you keep enjoying the points, the deliverables, But don't just focus on the deliverable that you forget about the whole journey. Everyone takes a path on their own and have the ability to make a change. So we did change our objectives halfway through. And even last week, we came up and said, what deliverables can be done in a presentable way that Furva can go and justify that she has some tangible deliverables. There are plenty of intangibles that I'm sure she will take in her life, and I will take in my life. But there are tangible deliverables which are coming out, and I'm looking forward to Furva's website and Rehan's website showing that the experience of Furva that she had in the 90 days she spent with Sir Shahid. Um, that's a use that one. It's a once in a lifetime experience. Because next time when we meet, if there is another opportunity to work together, it will be in different boundary conditions. Your expectations will be different. My expectations could be different. Yes, Mariam. I don't know
Uh,
if I gave you a yes no answer because it was a diluted deliverable. Uh, but anyway, I'll let you ask.
Good to know about like explore lots of the things about Parva and your whole journey with Parva. The last thing I just want to ask you about Parva, which three things you will suggest to her, improve her immediately, so that will be really, really helpful for her with upcoming challenges as well as the next interns she has to find or has to work with them.
Okay. Immediately. Okay. Uh, she hasn't practiced a lot of the power of no. Only in the last phase of internship, he started to say no. And that is why he has a lot of backlog until today. So work on that, practice it more and more and more. Don't say no for the sake of no. That is not the objective of no. It is prioritize what is it that is an enabler for you and use that one so that your short-term objective and your long-term objectives are aligned. Carry your backlog only with the things that have an immediate effect on your life. So clear your backlog as much as possible. So you have still backlog which was happening. Now, things like the today's world that the whole model of having a book. You will see. I grew up in a library. My mother was a librarian, so that I am very close. This room is a library that I have. So I'm very close to physical books. But in the world of a laptop, your information, the data to information to knowledge to wisdom, there's a lot of information which is not written. It's an unwritten one. So in that world of an unwritten one, you have to, as early as possible, uh, and I'm thinking from the Furva's immediate responses, because you put the immediate one, and I'm going back on the last 90 days. Uh, my pause is I'm playing back in the video of the last 90 days on where were the key points where we said, Furva, we have to make a change. So the changes which are coming in. Do not use, this is not a change. This is not to change. And then I will tell you why I'm bringing the not to change. The excitement you have, the curiosity you have, the smile you wear, the power of those three things, never ever lose them. Keep on retaining as long as possible. The spark in your eye is what makes the thing glow. Uh, Otherwise, you can close your eyes because a lot of people have eyes open, but they don't see anything. So keep that thing on. The downside, unfortunate downside of being for someone who gets excited too quickly, having that curiosity, is you have to start filtering out what is in the critical path of a deliverable that you have. Because everything gets excited. So you start taking a lot of, you open up the doors everywhere. Now, how can you line them up is what your mentees are going to tell you, because now you have to start thinking from the deliverable of your mentee. 1 and 1 makes 11. It means that the agonies and ecstasies of working together will come into play. When you are only managing your own time, it's a very different way. Now you were managing the expectations of a mentor. That is what my expectations was. Expectations of Miss Maryam, expectations of Sir Daulat. Now you will have your mentees and you have to go down to their level, and then they will actually lift you. So that change is what you have to very quickly adapt, that you are in that point in time in your own life where your own physiological changes, biological, mental, emotional, they will be happening, and around you things will be happening. So you have to find the way to calm. How quickly you can find patience, because a person who gets curious like me and you, we have to find that breathing space somewhere. If you don't, you will burn out. You will get exhausted. And then you will rely upon caffeine and not spend sleeping during the night. And then it's a domino effect. You carry over that thing in your backpack, and eventually your body cracks, your mind cracks, your deliverable cracks, expectations cracks. So you have to find the space, pause, comma, and sometimes full stop. And that is where the no comes in again. There are some things where you say, I can delay this, let me get this, and this done, then I will bring it. So prioritize what things you want in your excitement bucket for today and what can be put in your excitement bucket for tomorrow. Yeah, but don't delay things for tomorrow, because that is not who you are. Because you will break if you get into the mindset of saying no to everything, and then you will say, who am I? Because you are supposed to be owning things. So own your decision. And that is why the no comes in your owning. Because the worst thing that can happen to you when you have mentees and you have now 3 levels of, you have your parents, they are the expectations. You are the only one. And everyone is the only one in someone's eyes, no matter what. Yeah, Maryam has elder sister and all of those things, but you are still the only one, that you are the only Maryam in your own house. You are the only Maryam in the school, in there. So when you realize the power of being the only one, you also say that there are responsibilities coming at different levels. So how to prioritize that? And that is through time. But time stretches. So don't limit yourself on time, but don't overcommit. So slowly, slowly. First time, work hard. First time, work hard with the intention that if you were to repeat it, you will do it in half the time. That is work smart. But don't start with work smart. First time, you have to work hard. So now that you have done it, now that you have been the mentee, learn from this one that how will you, if you were to go back and do it again, what will you do different? And if a mentee comes to you, what will you do different as a mentor now to help the mentee fast track their learning without cutting their curiosity? You have to give everyone time for them to ask and think and own. If you fast track, then premature, uh, everything is hurt. So it takes time for anything to solidify, for ideas to solidify, right? For you to own. So um, I think that there are so many things that we have done in this internship, that the challenge for Furva right now is to sit before she takes on the next phase, is to write it down in those 3 to 1 to take it to 30, 20, 10, because it's the end of it. All those lessons learned together. Now that you will have in front of you a mentee, what will be your workflow? Put your decision tree over there, your learning over there. Because you will grow up a lot when you become, um, if you had a younger brother or a sister, it would have allowed you to have a patience on the other side. Now you have to get that in that mindset also, that mentees are going to challenge you, and how you will tell them that it's your responsibility, but you cannot tell anyone else that it was their responsibility, because as a mentor, it's your responsibility. So you have to shield your mentees in front of everyone. And that is what leadership means. As a mentor, you become a leader. So as a leader, you protect everyone around you without making them feel as if you don't allow them to grow. Um, Challenge them in private and praise them in public. Yeah, it's what I'm doing with you, Furva, right? Just kidding. Mariam, did you
Okay,
get anything
I
out of
hope,
my?
Parva, you
Yeah.
learn a lot of things that you need to work upon them for your next few journey with other interns. That will be really helpful for you and the rest of the participants as well. Lastly, Sir Shahid, I request you please share three things that every internee needs to be very vigilant about them, so that the person or the individual who is around 10 or maybe 13 years has to be very mindful about those three things regarding internship.
Is the message to the mentor or the mentee?
No, 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 no. It's the message from the mentor, so that the next three mentees who are like the teenager in Rehan school system, we have the students from
We are all
10 years
teenagers.
above. So
If
that's
you
why
are
we
a
need them.
mentee, yeah, I got your point. If you are a mentee, you have to be a teenager, because teenager is infinite. They have no boundaries. They will not think about a consequence, and this is how curiosity starts. But now, since they are teenagers themselves, 10, 11, 12, 13, the time when you are actually completely infinite. So, how to give them that accountability, that they have to somehow commit to the time and own that commitment. So, as a mentor to the mentee, the message I'm giving message to the mentee, right? This is what you want me to do. So, mentees, you have to don't 5W, 8SW. Get these seven things with you. If you want to remain a mentee, an effective mentee, every time something happens, you use the 5Ws. What? Be clear. Ask that question, what exactly do you mean? And think, what exactly does it mean? So that what is a very strong thing. Without, if you switch off the what and just write it down and you think, this is what I'm told, you have not yet owned that what. So own the word what, why comes later. So what is the man? Then comes where. The question here, this Furva and I were talking about a book in an oil field environment. Okay, that was the context coming in the where part. When the mentee has the time period, the third W is when. You have to put the boundary condition on time. In that time, when am I supposed to do, what I'm supposed to do, where I'm supposed to do, then who else is involved? It's the mentor and the mentee. Do I have to go and interview someone else? Do I have to learn from someone else? Those who will come. And then comes the why. Don't bring why at the beginning, because why at the beginning means you have not thought yourself. Think yourself first. Do the what, do the where, do the when, do the who. And then once you have looked at that, then you ask the question, why exactly Sir Shahid wants me to do this? Can I have the dialogue based on all the other four W's? And then how? The sixth point is H. Once the five W's are under control, you have understood it, you own it, you have starting to build a plan, and the plan comes from how. And then comes the bigger thing, which is so what. Because without so what, there is no takeaway. There is no alignment. So you bring the so what, okay, Sir Shahid, you asked me to do this thing, you asked me to change all these things. I know how to do it now, but how will it make any difference to this learning? Is it going to change the way we have been doing the things in the past? Can I affect something to the bigger community on wherever it is? So you bring the so what, and the sooner you bring so what, you will realize the power of being a teenager. Because so what, a teenager is infinite. So they can think at the higher level. There are 7 levels of heaven. And those 7 levels of heavens are all because you elevate from the earth, you come to the first level of heaven, and you look at the things and you think about the things, and then slowly, slowly you go up and you look at the bigger picture. You start drawing inference between what you did here to what you could do somewhere else, whether it's a sport, whether it's a food. I was talking about tea, how my tea relates to emotions, which is related to health, which is related to therapy. So you can start drawing down breathing space. So, as a mentee, the intention is not just to limit yourself to one thing that you are learning. Actually, that learning is going in so many angles that you can put all of those together. It's one life, and life does not happen in a silo. Life is all the time when I am there. My friends are dependent and I am dependent upon them. My family is there. My mentors and mentees are there. My community is there. The animals are there. The trees are there. Everyone is around us. So mentees go with the mindset that you are going to put the time constraint first. Think about what the deliverables are, plan your journey, but have that checkpoints that how will you know you are on the right track? And enjoy that track. Because if you don't have fun now, if not now, then when? If not here, then where? So enjoy everything, and that is why I loved the way Furva looked at the first thing, smile, curiosity. So mentees, keep that on. God has given you. Most of the time, although we make people cry when they are born, actually they are born with a smile before we slap them to hear their sound. But anyway, that's a separate discussion. Okay. But I'm sorry. I should have used a disclaimer that while you ask me a straight question, I cannot give you a very straight one-dimensional answer.
That's okay. We can grab up the things that we need to want to grab, and the
Absolutely.
things that we need to actually take out of it. That will be the key takeaways for all of us. So it depends upon the person who actually perceiving your thoughts and the things. So that's it from my side. Lastly, I request Parva if she wants to add something or I want to ask you, she can.
Good, Baba.
I'd like to add something. I would like to share my experience with Sir Shahid. I was never a morning person. I was a night owl, and I would work all night and I would sleep all day, and with the same negative energy and stuff. I was I was pathetic. But now I've changed so much. I can't believe when I look at the mirror. I don't believe that the creature I'm seeing right now is actually the Parva I used to know. So I've changed a lot because of Sir Shahid. Positive energy, I could say. Uh, he changed me in a way like I started to learn. I actually, people say that you should think before you speak. The what the kind of problem I had was I thought more, and my deliverables were not that. Because I was thinking a lot. I was thinking this and that, this point and this and that. But when I speak, I forget all the points, and I just, right now, all before Sir Shahid was talking, I was making up points that if I had the chance to talk, I will say this and that. And right now, I've forgotten them all because I was thinking too loud. So yeah, I've seen Sir Shahid. I've been talking to Sir Shahid, and he'd wake up at about 5:30 in the morning, and he would take a walk outside. I was like, how? How is that possible? And it's been 2 months. I've been waking up really, really early. and I really really early, and I would wake up and I wouldn't take any caffeine. I would take caffeine in in 2 weeks because there was one point at that Sir Shahid told me, you see, I'm stuttering right now. Why? Because I'm thinking a lot. So, because I've learned a lot, I have so many points I want to share that I'm so excited about. So, I think I can change that, and then I'll surely become a better person. And maybe we can have a chance. And just like how Sir Shahid goes from this and that topic to explain things, I was talking about me waking up early. I go up I go to my, I have a nearby park. I go alone, and before I enter the park, because there's no one beside me, I scream on top of my lungs. The universe is gonna help me. Today I'm going to learn, and I've gained all my energy back, and things like that. So if people would hear me, they'd find me weird. So I think I've just gained back my positive energy. I've gained back my energy to learn, and I'm a better person. I'm a better better learner now. I think I was a level 1 reader, level 1 learner. Now I'm probably a grade 5. Thank you so much. That's what I've learned. So thank you.
Very welcome. Keep it up.
Thank you.
Okay, Maryam.
Lastly, thank you so very
Really.
much, Shahed-ul-Haq sir and Furva, for this wonderful journey. And maybe now we can connect lots of the students and learn from Furva's experience, as she got a very wonderful experience under your guidance and the leadership. So have a good time, and thank you so very much for Shahed-ul-Haq for your wonderful time, dedicatedly giving to Furva and teach her lots of the things she doesn't know about them.
Very welcome. Take care.
Okay. Thank you so
Bye
very
for
much,
now.
audience who were watching us live.